So where do we start? We were enemies,
Friend.
frenemies. We were frenemies. We didn't get off to a good start in the beginning. We had a lot of arguments, a lot of different point of views, different perspectives. We thought about the same things very differently.
Yeah.
And I used to ask God, why did you put me in an office with someone that is the exact opposite of me? We didn't share the same points. We couldn't agree with a lot of things. And just when I thought when I was right, she would show me that I'm wrong. Yeah.
Likewise.
One fine day we had a project to work on, and on that day it could have been God's timing, because on that day while we were discussing, things were very smooth, too smooth. In fact, it was just going very, very easy.
Yeah.
We could share, we could discuss, we could think together, we could brainstorm together. It was very good. So we ended up talking a lot more than usual, just catching up on each other, like how has the last 2 or 2.5 years been in ministry. And a few days later I started realizing that the more and more I spoke to her, the more and more our communication got restored. I started seeing that she is pretty much a lot of what I've been praying for in terms of a life partner. So I decided to fast and pray. Young man, fast and pray. Fast and pray. Notice that I said young men, not young boys. The Bible says that it is. So we ended up going for coffee, and it was a very long afternoon. And a few days later we had to go to Subang for work. And on that day, after finishing up our work, I decided to trick her into watching a movie.
Yep.
So, no, it wasn't trick. A trick is not a nice way to say it. I actually know about the movie, but I made her think that I had no idea about the movie. So, long story short, we went for a movie and I went for dinner. We were talking about ministry, work, life. And
He was asking me some random question about how would you know if a guy likes a girl? How would you know if a guy likes you? How would you know? What are the signs? And I'm like, why are you asking me all these questions? Who do you like? Do you need help or something?
yeah, and end of the day, I decided that I had to tell her. So 7 days into my 30 days fast, I broke the news to her.
Yeah.
I needed to know an immediate answer.
Yeah. He kept asking until we left the place. We went home. Before we went home, he asked. When I got home, he asked. Before I sleep, he asked again.
Sorry. So I slept off. I don't know about her, but I slept. I had a good sleep.
I didn't sleep.
The next morning, we had to come to work, and it was raining. It was actually it was a dry season, but it was raining on that morning. And I came to work, and I saw her walking to the office, to church, and I just gave her a smile, like, and she did the same. And then after devotions, I texted her, and I said, "So how did you think about it?" And she said, "Yeah, everything seemed right. Everything seemed nice, but I didn't know how much of this was true. So I decided to do the Gideon thing." That's what she said.
Because I was awake all night. I couldn't sleep until like 5 in the morning. And I was like, God, I need to sleep, I need a solution to this thing. And then I came to the point where I just thought, I'll just do the Gideon thing, Gideon asked God for a sign. So I told God that, okay, when I wake up tomorrow, especially when I'm driving to work, it has to be raining. And the time it was like a hazy weather. And then I said, after staff devotion finish, it must still be raining. That would be a sign that it's a confirmation.
To me, it was just odd that it was raining on that morning, and it actually rained according to the way she asked God to rain on the way to work, and even after the staff devotion. So she told me that I decided to do the Gideon thing, and which is if it rained this morning, it was a yes. And I was like, oh, it is raining. Thank you, God. But the nice thing about the entire thing is we spoke about it later on, and we realized that our prayer had a lot to do with it. Joy's prayer was pretty much, Jesus, I give you my heart, and whoever finds you finds me. And my prayer, on the other hand, was, Jesus, you have a heart, and give me permission to have it. So I believe that the Lord was the middleman, the person who made all of this happen. Yep. So that's pretty much how
We met. Got together.
Yeah. The proposal was a very, very funny experience. Very funny story. I try to make it as romantic as possible. I tried my best. So I tried to make it on the day. The 8th of December was the day she said yes, when I told her that I had feelings for her. So I had contacted my friend, and he was supposed to set up that bench that we sat on the first time. Set it up with the ring and the flowers and everything to make it look like nice. But I was nervous the entire day, the whole day. I was just making sure that nothing goes wrong. And Satya just messaged me. Satya was the guy who helped me out, our friend, a good friend, who's also my best man. There, and he just messaged me that, okay bro, I'm here at Desa Park City. And he didn't know the exact location of the bench, so he went around walking the entire jogging track, taking photos of every bench and sending me and asking, is this the correct one? Is this the correct one? So I had to, I remembered the view, so we finally found the correct one, and he started decorating. And I took her to Desa Park City, parked the car, and I messaged Satya, okay bro, we are here, are you ready? And then he replied like, oh bro, wait, I'm still having my meal now, I'm not ready yet. So I had to detour, take her to finding for a fake Starbucks or something. Oh, like I need to get something there. Have you seen this? Have you been to this shop?
Yeah, and the whole time he was on the phone.
Because Satya
And then he was speaking in Tamil, which is unusual.
I didn't want her to understand what I was saying. So I kept telling her stories like, oh, my cousin called, there's some problem, I need to help him out. And
Yeah,
everything.
then some old lady was sick and...
Yeah, some funny stories. But as we were walking, she was just joyful and having a nice time walking, enjoying the scenery, and I was all stressed out thinking if it's going to go well, if it's going to go wrong. And I could see across the lake at the other side, at that particular bench, and my friend Satya was still standing there. And there was no one else on the jogging track, and he's got a very interesting body posture that you could tell it's him a mile away. And he was bright yellow t-shirt and still standing there, and he was facing the bench. I didn't know what he was doing, and I was trying to message him, try to call him, and he wasn't answering. And we were very close to the intersection to go towards that place, and I didn't want her to look at and find out that Satya was standing there, and everything would just be a mess. So I tried messaging him, tried calling him, couldn't reach him, and I messaged him, and this is exactly what I said: I can see you, I can see you clearly.
Hide now.
Hide now. And he didn't reply. And then when I checked the phone, I actually sent that message to her. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah, but then I was like, why is he asking me to hide? But I was too occupied, so I just forget about it.
Yeah, I was like, how come she didn't realize how come she didn't think that something was fishy? And we were really close to the intersection, and he was still standing there, so I had no choice but to take her along the long route. And that was a pain. It was like probably a kilometer extra walking, and it was just going bad. It was just not according to plan. So we're walking, and she was talking about, oh, look at the dog, oh, look at this, oh, look at the sky, oh, look at that. And my mind was just going on about, Satya, you just messed up the plan. Satya, are you still
And I
there?
thought that he's worried about someone who is sick, not feeling well, that was on the phone.
So we finally came towards the intersection again, and this time it started getting cloudy. I had planned for a sunset, and it was getting cloudy. I was like, oh yo, the whole plan is gone lah. And I finally got in touch with Satya, and I told him to go hide. And this fine young man decides to hide behind a tree with his t-shirt flying in the wind, can see the side and all. Like you could tell that there's someone hiding behind the tree. So I had to tell her, Joy, just wait here for a while. I'll be back. And I went behind the bush and I was like, no. And finally we came to the bench. It was really dark. It was getting cloudy. It was about to rain. And the bench, there were flower petals, rose petals all over the place. It was the same bench that we sat on our first date. And the first thing she asked me was, how come there are flower petals here?
Yeah.
And she started looking around for a rose plant.
Yeah.
I was like, still don't get it. And I said, well, let's just have a seat. And then we were talking. And at that point, whatever I had prepared to say during the proposal, I went blank. And it started raining. It started raining pretty heavily. I had no choice but to take the ring from underneath the bench and get down on one knee and propose to her. And she said yes. She was like, oh, crying, everything. And she said
Crying
yes.
with the rain.
Yeah, it was raining, and it was not what I planned for, but it was romantic. It was nice. It turned out to be nice. She put the ring on, and I sat next to her and we were talking, and I was telling her about the whole plan that went wrong.
Then the rain went away.
Yeah, and later on Satya came and joined us after the whole proposal, and we were telling him about how it went wrong, and he reminded us, but isn't rain your thing? Isn't that what happened during the first time? And then we remembered that, yeah, it was rain. The rain is God's way of telling us that He is with us and He's blessing us. And there were lightnings in the sky. And I told her that even the heavens are celebrating that God and the angels are taking photographs of us. Yeah.
So poetic.
Yeah, so that was the proposal.
From this day onwards, I make aware myself and everyone around that we are officially engaged, and you and I will now become us.
Being with you makes the good even better, even more worthwhile.
I will put in all effort that I have to make adjustments to my plan, my lifestyle, my ideas, my directions, the way I think, to incorporate yours.
Now we know that it is a fact that no one is perfect. So I pray that God will grant you grace through all my unbearable acts.
I will make mistakes. I will make mistakes, but I will make sure I learn from them.
And I also pray that God will make me to be the best helpmate to you as we prepare the journey together, growing from glory to glory. In short, I dare to lose the I to gain a we with you.
And as Jesus Christ came with the fruit and the gifts of the Spirit for His bride, I come today here with these fruits, flowers, cakes, sweets, to express my love to you.
I say yes to feeding you my last bite of food more often. Yes to your many quirks and jokes. Yes to a little more frequent Indian food and Tamil movies. But most importantly, yes to being almost married to you. I love you.
In front of everyone, and to promise you that I will marry you one day. I love you.